I've always wanted to work. I didn't want to really depend on anybody. I've always wanted my own. When you say you can't, the rehab will say you can. And this is how you can do it. In 1992, I was a victim of a gunshot wound. It was a drive-by shooting. I was only 13 at the time.
She was sitting on a swing set at a playground, and they hit her instead of who they were aiming at. The bullet went right next to her spine.
You know, as a young teenager, I was like, I don't want to live. I don't want to go through this. And I stopped eating. I stopped drinking. I got really sick and lost so much weight to like 63 pounds. And I had to go back in the hospital, and I was in the hospital for a whole year. So it was a really rough battle at first. I was homebound for the whole 9th grade year. Then the second semester of my 10th grade year, I decided, they was like, you can go back to school. I was a little scared because I was different. And it was like, how do I do this with all these people and everybody's gonna be looking at me? And I stayed here for a semester. Things began to transpire with my mom and my stepdad, and we were out of a home. And I went to New York to my aunt, and I stayed there. And it was okay at first, but you know, I got a phone call saying my mom was sick, and it went from there. And at the age of 17, I moved into my own place. Thank God I got a place the day of graduation. Stayed for a few more years, and I got into a bad relationship, and then I moved back here. And that's when people tell me about for rehab place that would help you.
Rose came in 2002. She was a self-referral. She came in wanting just a typical clerical kind of job.
And I wanted to finish my education. I'm like, I have to do something with myself.
She had 2 small children, and she wanted us to help her get some training to support herself and her children.
They were awesome. I have to say they were awesome. They were pretty hard because I needed to be pushed, because it was like things were happening right one after the other. And I didn't have that drive that they saw in me.
In, I think, the space of 3 months, she had her grandmother die, her aunt was in a major car accident, and she found out her daughter was terminal.
My daughter was born in 2001. She died in 2003, 3 days after my birthday. So that was really hard.
I worked one-on-one with Rose a lot, in just one-on-one counseling sessions. A lot of times we were working on grief and loss. It was very challenging for her to stay focused on work and her goals.
They were teaching like stress management classes, anger management classes, and I needed all of them at that time because I was angry and stressed and just couldn't cope with the things that I was going through.
She realized she also had never really grieved the loss of her mobility. So she had a lot that was weighing on her and to work through, but she did it. She came in with a smile on her face, the willingness to get through this and to really talk about some things that were painful and difficult and that she struggled with each day.
She made me feel like it was okay. Like whatever I was going through, it was hard, but it was okay. And they pushed. It was like, you can do this. And I'm like, I can't do that. It was like, there's no such word as can't. So that's where I learned to stop saying can't.
After she started dealing with some of the grief with Kelly and talking with me a lot about what she wanted to do, she mentioned that whenever she was living in New York, she was going to school for criminal justice.
I was always interested in criminal justice. I wanted to be a lawyer. I told my mom before she passed, I said, I'm gonna be a lawyer and you're gonna get old and I'm gonna move you in my house and take care of you. And she's like, yeah, okay.
We had a really great relationship with the local probation and parole. So I spoke with them to find out how realistic it would be for her to get her degree in criminal justice and what jobs she may qualify for and be physically capable of doing. They told me that She could potentially work for probation and parole, maybe not as an agent that goes out looking for people, but definitely one that could stay in the office and see the people that had to come in and report.
I wanted to go to school. I didn't think I could go to school because I'm like, what am I going to do? And my counselors at Road Rehab was like, you could do anything you want to do. And I'm like, how? I'm limited. And they were like, no, you're not. You're only limited if you allow to limit yourself.
So we went ahead and VR helped her go to school.
I went to USC Salkehatchie here in Walterboro. I was living directly behind the school, so it was easy for me to go to school. And I had a scooter, so I just rode my little scooter to school. One day I came home and I told my husband, I said, I want to drive. And he was like, you want to drive? I said, yes. He said, okay. So I said, Miss Tuckman, I want to learn how to drive. And she's like, learn how to drive? She said, okay. And nobody had an issue with it. Even though I was saying it, I wasn't really sure that's what I could do.
We matched her with an evaluator in the state that was certified in providing these services. The training was done in Myrtle Beach with Ian McClure.
That was my very first time driving. And he put me right on the interstate. I was like, I can't do this. No, that's too much traffic. What am I to do? My husband and son was in the back seat and they was like, you can do it. I was like, oh no. But lo and behold, I did it. And he was like, have you ever driven before? I was like, no, sir. He's like, wow, it's gonna be a piece of cake for you. I got my license on the first try. I was like, yes. Next thing, I wanted a car.
Her husband bought her car so that we could do the accommodations.
She needed left-hand mounted hand controls, which would allow her to do the brake and the gas using her left hand. Keeping her right hand on the wheel for steering, we had a spinner knob put on so that would improve her leverage on the steering wheel going around corners.
To see her pull up into the parking lot, and she could, oh, come look at my car, and we, had to come over and check out everything, and and she was just so excited.
And I'm like, ah, I screamed. And that was like a major stepping stone.
It was going to give her that freedom to finish her degree. While Rose was in school, they had her do an internship. And since we had such a great relationship with the local probation office, she asked us if we could help her school set that up for her.
She knew of a parole officer and that she was real good friends with. And I went to him and he was like, yeah, I have 3 more people ahead of you. And I was like, this is never gonna happen. So, but I never gave up. I kept pushing and pushing him, and he was like, okay. And he gave me a chance, and he was like, you're the best intern student I've ever had.
She worked here at the local probation and parole for her internship, helping them get their paperwork ready for court, typing up a lot of their reports, answering the phones, learning what they do.
They didn't slack up on me. That's what I liked about it. They didn't treat me any different. It was like, you come here to work, this is what you're gonna do. We're not treating you any different.
They loved her over there. They wanted to keep her over there. She was so supported by that staff that they all went to her graduation, and they all called and told me how great her graduation was, how good it was to see her complete her program. So it was awesome.
I have my degree in criminal justice. I am a criminal justice major and a minor in psychology. I couldn't believe I did it. It was awesome. Graduation day, I'm actually graduating. And it was exciting because I had my in-laws there. That was like my family at the time. And my ex-husband was there, and it was just awesome. And they were there, so very supportive. And they were excited. Right after graduation, I had to have a surgery. It started from a minor surgery to 12 hours from dying. So I laid down for a whole year, couldn't sit up, anything, just had to lay on my back for a whole year. Once I got back out, I started back with voc rehab.
And so we brought her back in the training center to help build her stamina up.
Working at the training center wasn't bad. At first I thought it was real tedious, and I'm like, I didn't see what was the point of it then, but now I do.
She was a little bit down when she first came in, had a lot on her plate at the time.
My moods were like a roller coaster. In one minute I was angry, next minute I was happy.
Doing things made her feel better. She packaged Le Creuset, did some labeling. She did a little bit of every contract we had in the center.
You could put Rose at the head of a table and she would just push that work. You'd show her what to do, she'd catch on, and she just loves being around people. She loves talking, she loves helping other people.
That kind of made me who I am today, because being in here is like the littlest thing counts. You don't realize how much it means until you get out into the real field.
We had another client that was in a very similar situation. Rose approached me and asked me if she could work beside that client.
I knew how he felt. His spirit was down, and I know how hard it was for me. I understand what you're going through.
It was really neat to see her working beside him, to see him kind of start opening up to her because it was someone he could relate to.
I knew he could do it. I guess I see a lot in people that I don't see in myself.
As we started with job search and placement, she did several applications within the Colleton area and also within the Dorchester County area as well.
I went on the interviews. Interviews went kind of great, but there was always somebody better with more experience. Experience is something that I didn't have.
We looked at jobs at probation and parole because she loved it so much over there. But probation and parole here locally is a very small office and nobody leaves. So there were never any openings.
We kept applying for other jobs and getting let downs, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And she was like, oh no, we're not gonna quit.
But during that time, she took classes here. She did interviewing classes, applications classes. The business development specialist also worked with her, and also our job coach as well.
And I asked her specifically about law offices. She said that, you know, as long as she could use her degree, she would be happy and she would learn it. A friend of mine has a law office here in town. She just wanted someone that could help her paralegal out. She wanted someone who was familiar with the legal process and could just help out around the law office. So I set up an internship.
The transition was a little difficult because probation is totally different from this.
There were some growing pains, I guess you could call it, because it changed the dynamic of the office, not because of her not being able to do the work.
So they had to feel me out, and I had to feel them out as well, because I'm like, okay. And I never wanted to do anything wrong. And in an office like this, trust is a big thing, and confidentiality.
But that's where our counseling and guidance sessions actually came in. We got a lot of feedback from her employer on some things that she needed to work on, such as her phone etiquette, the fast pace of the office. She needed to keep up with the pace of the office and her tasks, and also her organization skills as well. And after the 3 months, she was offered the position as the legal assistant.
She works part-time for Christy Scott and part-time for Mary Pat.
Rose is the face of the firm, and the face that she presents is very inviting, and it portrays everything that we want to present to a client. She's the first assistant I've had in my 12 years of practice that is actually a full team member. She's the initial client contact. She takes work home voluntarily. She reads up on things.
I type deposition summaries, which Christy takes depositions, and there are a lot of them. Some are very thick. For Attorney Crawford, I'm learning to type up divorce complaints. I do summons. I also answer phones for her. I call clients. I meet with clients. Some clients I know already know what they need, so I meet with them. For Attorney Crawford, I meet with mostly her clients.
She communicates to us the emotions she hears, the information that she hears. She also plays a very difficult role here that I think is very difficult. She works for 2 attorneys, and she works with 3 other legal assistants. That in itself could give you a degree in diplomacy.
I love it here. These ladies are awesome. They're very supportive, and I'm learning a lot. It's never-ending learning here.
She is an asset to the office, to the clients, to us. We are blessed to have her. And the day she came to the office, we gained much more than an employee.
They're always including me. Last week, Thursday, they gave me a housewarming party here. They're very, very supportive.
She was recently divorced. She was living in her in-laws' home that they had renovated for her. Halfway through the divorce, the in-laws wanted her to move. So she was really stressed over that. Finding an apartment that's wheelchair accessible in Walterboro with a teenage son is impossible. Christy and I know a gentleman who used to be chief of police here in town, and he had a home that he was wanting to rent out. She talked with him, and he actually updated the house so that it would be accessible for Rose, and she moved in this last week.
So they have welcomed me as well as my son, and that's awesome.
She has not only been an amazing person for her and for our office, but she's passed that on to her son. He's in football. He wants to go to college. He's respectful. She's just a great parent.
My son is my heart. All he knows is me in this chair. So it was amazing from when he was a baby. He kind of adjusted. Like, it was like, I know that my mom's not walking, but I know I can crawl up in her lap.
She always reminds me every day that anything is possible. Don't ever doubt yourself. Don't ever let nobody count you out. You can do whatever you set your mind to.
Rose has come a long way, and if it wasn't for a team effort, Rose wouldn't be where she is now.
I hear a happiness in her voice. I hear joy in her voice.
VR is a lifesaver for people with disabilities. It helps you do things that you don't think you can do. It gives you life. I'm a living witness, and I'm a great example, because everything that I said I wanted to do, Lord Rehab made it possible, because I was determined. And even when I got to a point where I was like, I wanted to quit, they didn't let me quit. So I'm very grateful.